your tax needs and more.
Hi there, I'm Daniel Lader, founder of Lader CPA and Associates, and welcome back to our ongoing series, Tax Strategy, right here, right now, where we are talking about great ways to reduce your tax bill and skipping all the jargon. So, this week we are going to be talking about group health insurance and alternative benefit structures. Now, that sounds confusing and boring, I know, but it's not. There's more to it than that. So, first off, health insurance. It's a big cost for any practice, and the challenge is that there is no one-size-fits-all answer to health insurance. Some practices do best with a normal group health plan. Others may do better with a reimbursement-style benefit like an HRA, but the right choice depends on your team and your budget and how much admin work you want. So the goal today is I want to explain the difference between group health insurance and an HRA or an MERP style benefit plan so you can better understand your options, and I want to talk about the tax strategies around those. Now, these are complicated topics. Talk with a professional, an advisor who can talk to you about health insurance and the other options. That's outside of my arena, but I know the tax benefits of these things. So let's get into it. So benefits can help you hire and keep good employees, but the wrong setup can create a high cost, confusion, and compliance problems. So let's talk about them. First, group health insurance. This is the traditional option when you think of providing health insurance. The practice offers a health plan through an insurance company. The employees enroll in that plan, and usually the employer pays part of the premium and the employee pays the rest, etc. That's the traditional way we all think about. Now, there's some pros and cons. The big pro is that this is the easy option, the simple option. It feels familiar. Most employees are already used to something like that. The downside is the cost. This is the expensive option. This is the inflexible option. So keep that in mind. Now, what is an HRA? So an HRA is an employer-funded plan that reimburses employees for qualified medical expenses. And if it's set up correctly, these reimbursements are usually tax-free to the employees. So there's the tax benefit there. An employer is basically giving tax-free income to their employee for these reimbursements. Now let's talk about the types of HRA. Now I'm going to throw a couple acronyms at you, and I apologize for that ahead of time. First, we have a QSE HRA. This is usually for small employers who do not offer a group plan. It can reimburse your employees for individual insurance and other medical costs. There's an annual limit to it. Then there's an ICHRA, and that can work for employers of any size. It allows reimbursements for individual insurance and medical expenses, but it has more rules. Now, an MERP refers to a medical expense reimbursement plan. It's a broad term for any employer plan that pays back employees for qualified medical costs. Now, the design matters because not every reimbursement setup is going to be allowed. So, a big warning for you. A practice should not casually reimburse employees for their health insurance outside of a proper plan. If it's not done correctly, it creates compliance problems, possibly penalties, and it doesn't get to be tax-free reimbursements anymore, which is our focus. Now, why do owners like an HRA or an MERP structure? Now, these plans can give your employer a better budget control and gives employees more flexibility in choosing their own coverages. The downsides of an HRA and an MERP, they are a lot harder to manage. They require specific rules, so keep that in mind. That is not the simple option. Now, let me give you a framework for deciding whether you should do group health or an HRA style reimbursement. Choose a group health insurance plan if your team wants a traditional plan and you are comfortable with the higher fixed cost. Choose an HRA style plan if you want more cost control and your employees are okay choosing their own coverage. Now be very careful with an MERP style reimbursements plan and make sure they are set up correctly. A couple closing thoughts here. The best health benefit plan is not the most complicated one. It is the one your practice can afford, your team can understand, and your advisors can help you manage correctly. Also, don't forget that when we look at health insurance, we should look at what the tax implications of that are. Anything the business pays for under a plan that's properly set up is deductible and is effectively tax-free income to your employees. But the plan must be set up and managed properly. So, critical thinking question for you. Would your team do better with one shared group plan or with a flexible reimbursement plan that lets each person choose coverage that fits their needs? Maybe ask them. Next week, we are going to be talking about HSA optimization. So don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for future events and tax advice. Visit our website, latercpa.com, and have a great weekend. Keep helping others to help themselves, and let us help you to do just that. I'll see you next time. Bye.